Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode 23, and the tournament tonight continues. In this part, two more tournament matches will take place. Sting versus Mr. Anderson, Chris Jericho versus Chris Benoit, plus Kurt Angle is set to make an open challenge to the roster for a matchup at Over the Limit. And right now you see the ring is set and another tournament matchup will take place. First of all, brash, young, arrogant, Green Bay, Wisconsin native, Mr. Anderson. Mr. Anderson, last night at Destruction, went one-on-one with Kurt Angle, and unfortunately for him, tapped out to the ankle lock. He came so close, hit him with everything, including Angle's angle slam. However, it wasn't to be. Angle making Anderson tap out last night, but Anderson here tonight, looking to bounce back in another flipping high-profile matchup. He goes one-on-one with Sting in this quarterfinal matchup, the winner to go through to the semi-finals, which will take place on the next episode of Metal. And about to make his way to the ring, a man who's not in the best of moods, and is definitely not in the best of shape. Last night at Destruction, Sting, as you saw at the top of the program, went one-on-one with The Undertaker. It was this time a last man standing matchup, a rematch from WrestleMania, where the loser was the one who couldn't answer a count of 10. It ended in horrific circumstances when Sting speared The Undertaker off the top of the Titantron into a pit, and when Sting looked like he was about to win it, collapsed under the pain and the pressure, and it ended in a draw. Sting once again came so close to beating The Undertaker, yet didn't do it. It finished a draw last night. Sting looked like to be the one to win last night, but instead was held to a draw by the Phenom. Of course, this isn't the last man standing matchup right now, as Anderson goes over Sting, applying the headlock right now. We already know one man who's going through to the semi-finals on Metal. That man is Kane. He beat up Randy Orton, and throughout the commercial break, Randy Orton has been trashing the commissioner's office. Here's a cover by Anderson following the sit back, and now here's a roll through by Sting, but a kick out by Anderson. Of course, he's back up right now, but Sting, of course the veteran in this situation, Sting, after coming off of a huge match with The Undertaker, is not in the best of shape, but he's still got Anderson on the back foot. Scorpion Deathlock, sharpshooter applied, and it's Anderson gonna tap out for a second time in a row. But he's near the ropes, and he does get there eventually, does Anderson. These two have never faced off. This is a huge opportunity for Anderson. If he can beat Sting here tonight and go through to the semi-finals, it will build huge momentum. Of course, in this part still to come, Chris Jericho will go one-on-one with Chris Benoit in a rematch from last night, where Chris Jericho defeated Chris Benoit to become the new Intercontinental Champion. Nevertheless, Anderson working on Sting. Is the cover following the net breaker, but still a kick out by Sting. Anderson, he's got to be sore after what Kurt Angle did to him. He threw everything but the kitchen sink at him, and now he's getting beaten up by Sting. DDT to the arrogant Green Bay native. Sting has got to be thinking of The Undertaker at the moment as he's working on Sting, and reversed into the corner by Anderson. There's another elbow. Sting came so close to beating The Undertaker, and there's a big boot, taking his frustrations out onto Mr. Anderson. The winner of this matchup goes through to the semi-finals and will face either Chris Benoit or Chris Jericho in the semis. Went for the death drop from the top, drove the Stinger splash, but Anderson had the knees up. He kicks out again, and here we go. Here's a variation of a camel clutch. Camel clutch variation applied onto Sting, and Sting, after the way his back was beaten up last night, maybe Anderson going to work on it again, and there's a punch to the back of the skull. This is the second of full quarterfinal matchups taking place tonight. Sting was on his shoulders, and there's the Anderson rolling senton. Sting has got to get back into this one, otherwise Anderson may put it away. He's taunting Sting to get up, and now once again going for the mic check. He's been going for it out the entire of this matchup, and now hangs onto the ropes just about, goes for a punch but gets caught out. Caught out by Sting, and here's the Scorpion Death Drop. Here's the Scorpion Death Drop, and here's the win. Sting goes through to the semi-finals on metal. Mr. Anderson not able to rectify mistakes made against Kurt Angle last night, and alas, it was not meant to be. Sting picking up the victory over Mr. Anderson. Maybe he wasn't able to beat Undertaker last night, but he certainly was able to beat Mr. Anderson here. Undertaker wasn't beatable by Sting last night, but Anderson here tonight has fallen to the Scorpion, where it was Anderson who went for the punch, got caught out by Sting, and the veteran picking up the victory following the Scorpion Death Drop, and the win going to Sting here tonight. Anderson's not going to be happy after losing this one, so now we know 2 of the 4 men in the semi-finals of this tournament to crown the #1 contender to Triple H's world title are over the limit. Anderson livid in the ring, but Sting along with Kane going through to the semi-finals on metal. Sting will face the winner of the upcoming matchup between Chris Jericho and Chris Benoit this Wednesday on metal in the semi-finals. And Sting, despite not being able to beat Undertaker last night, goes a long way into becoming the new #1 contender. Well, as you saw, there's the brackets right now. Sting through to the semi-finals along with Kane. Up next will be Chris Jericho versus Chris Benoit, and our later main event of the evening, Undertaker versus John Cena.
If you would please just stop trashing my office and look me in the damn eyes. Turn around now. For God's sake, you realise that my ass is on the line. The board of directors, they're not happy with the job I'm doing. And it's mainly because of you, the way I've dealt with this entire situation. You realise I could have fired you by now. I could have fired you a long time ago. There's been fan backlash over the way I've handled this situation, and it's not making me happy, it's not making them happy, but for some reason in your own sick little mind, I've offered to give you counselling, you've rejected that, and we're going to have to intervene at some point because you can't just kick people's heads off any way you choose. CM Punk, he spent the night in hospital and he's not here tonight. CM Punk will be on metal, and I don't expect you to go anywhere near him. Now, the reason you're trashing my office right now is because your foot was under the ropes when you were pinned by Kane. That's fair enough, but the referee's decision stands and there's nothing I can do about it now, so you can quit whining and moaning to me. Maybe your foot was under the ropes, I saw it that way, however I'm not allowed to turn around the referee's decision, so as things stand, you lost the match and Kane is going through to the semi-finals. I've already told you several times, I could have fired you a long time ago, but you know why I haven't? Because I respect your athletic ability. But there's only so much I'm willing to put up with. You're hanging by a thread. The only reason I'm still letting you compete here is because many of my top stars are injured. I've got no CM Punk to wrestle, no Shawn Michaels to wrestle, you retired Batista, so I'm left with the bare minimum. That is why you're still here. Remember that, and any more wrong turns could get you fired. Now get the hell out of my office.
Well, Randy Orton is clearly not happy after earlier's result. Randy Orton, I can tell you for sure, certainly ain't happy after not getting through to the semi-finals. His foot was under the ropes in all fairness, but kind of deserves what he gets after what he's done in the past couple of weeks. And here's another guy whose actions last night at the pay-per-view were a little more than questionable. Y2J Chris Jericho last night made history and won the Intercontinental Championship from Chris Benoit. It was a submission matchup, and the controversy surrounding the title win was that Chris Benoit never tapped out. That's right, it was a submission match last night. Chris Jericho versus Chris Benoit for the Intercontinental title. Benoit was defending, and towards the end of the matchup, Chris Jericho hit Chris Benoit with his own knee brace across the skull. It made Benoit bleed, and that meant that Jericho could easily put Benoit in the walls of Jericho and score the victory. However, the Rabid Wolverine never tapped out. He passed out. Therefore, that's why the controversy surrounds the match ending and Jericho becoming the new champion, but I can guarantee you right now, Benoit will be out for revenge. Of course, he still gets his rematch for the Intercontinental title. When he will take that up, we don't know, but it's not taking place tonight. Tonight is about other things. This is about a bigger picture. This is about the World Heavyweight Championship and the third of 4 quarterfinal matchups here tonight on NLW. Benoit versus Jericho, the winner of this matchup, faces Sting in the semi-finals on metal. And here we go, the matchup begins, and look at the intensity in their eyes. They butt heads. And both men, the controversy surrounding the matchup last night, oh my god. What a slap by Jericho, and Benoit taking no crap from anybody. Rolls him through, and now both men wants to hurt each other, wants to maim and destroy their opponent. That's exactly what Benoit's trying to do right now against Jericho. Sends him off the ropes with Jericho, double axe handle across the face, and now beating him up. So fierce is Jericho, especially after winning the IC title from Benoit last night. These two men have been so many high-profile matches, and this is yet another one. And my god, trading blows again, slaps and chops to the chest. Jericho has Benoit held now, and has him held firmly, and drops him down with a powerbomb. Chris Jericho and Chris Benoit have met many times over the past couple months. It's been one of the storied rivalries in NLW, and look at that. Went for the lion salt, caught out with the German suplex. Here's a roll through, but a kick out by Jericho. And now going for a second German. Also going for the German is Jericho, and now on his shoulders, and there's a knee breaker to the stomach. Jericho used Chris Benoit's knee brace to hurt Benoit and cost him the matchup last night. That's why he's Intercontinental Champion here. Of course, this matchup isn't for the Intercontinental Championship. There's a roll through and a flipping kick to the face. And now look at him raking his face across the ring apron, across that ring rope, that top rope. And now Jericho looks as if he's gonna go flying. Both of these men, technical mastery has been wonder for us to behold, and from the second rope is the crossbody onto Benoit. Last night may have ended in controversial circumstances. Both men will hope it doesn't end the same way here tonight. Jericho, here's a cover by onto Benoit, but a kick up by Benoit. And now look at Jericho again with a chop to the chest while Benoit is in the ropes, trying to Irish whip him. But now Benoit going for the crossface, and now going to try and make Jericho tap out. Of course, this isn't a submission matchup, but pinfalls are allowed, as you see there. There's a roll through. Tonight, this is about the #1 contendership to the World Heavyweight Championship. The winner of this matchup will go on to meet Sting in the semi-finals of this tournament to crown a new #1 contender for Triple H's World Heavyweight Championship. Benoit on the top, going for the headbutt, but is put in his place by Jericho. And now look at this, he's going for the same move he went for last night at Destruction, but battered away this time. Now Jericho is on the mat and he's looking into the heavens. This isn't good. There's the German headbutt, flying headbutt from the top rope, and a kick out by Y2J. The Intercontinental Champion, uncharacteristically on the back foot. Here's another roll through and a cover, but now he rolls through again. And here we're going to go and see the walls. Are we going to see the walls of Jericho applied now? The same move that made Benoit pass out last night. And here we go. Crossface. Benoit's a crossface. But Jericho near the ropes and manages to get there just in time. In the nick of time, indeed. Benoit wants to go after him again. He's dragged to the outside. And now look at these men. This is the emotion that both of them have for each other. They're brawling throughout this arena, and they'll send it into the steel ring steps. And again they're going brawling throughout the arena, and they're travelling to the backstage. I don't think they even care about this matchup anymore. They're just brawling. And they're in the backstage, and now the crossface in the backstage tech area, and he's tapping out. Jericho's tapping out to Benoit. and throwing that Intercontinental title at him. This match has been basically thrown out the window. I don't know what the referee's thinking. The referee's gone from the ring. But there you see, Jericho has been sent a message, and a clear message at that. Chris Benoit, in this quarterfinal matchup, didn't want to win. He wanted to punish Jericho, and he did just that. Brawling with him, beating him up, and he has made the Intercontinental Champion tap out to his move here tonight. He may have lost the title last night in flipping controversial circumstances, but Chris Benoit sending a clear message here tonight, and I don't know what that means for this matchup, but well, there you see on the screen, Sting's getting a bye. Jericho and Benoit a double DQ called by the referee. Sting gets a bye. Kane has gone through, and that leaves Undertaker and John Cena in the final quarterfinal matchup coming up later in the evening.
He is the top of the food chain here. He's undefeated. And I want to prove that I am the best in the world. Going into this match, I have a lot to gain. And I do have a lot to lose. I have a reputation. He knows deep down in his heart, but unless he beats Kurt Angle, he can never be in the top ranks of professional wrestling. I enjoy inflicting pain.
It's real. It's damn real.
No Limits Wrestling presents Over the Limit live.
Of course, Over the Limit coming your way in November. We already know that Triple H will put the title on the line against the winner of the tournament. However, this man is about to come out here and make an open challenge for the Over the Limit pay-per-view. Here he comes to an incredible crowd response as always. The Olympic gold medalist, Kurt Angle. Pittsburgh's own Angle coming out here to an incredible crowd response as always. And he is also in a great mood following an incredible victory over Mr. Anderson last night. Granted, Mr. Anderson put up a hell of a fight, but Kurt Angle continues his undefeated streak here in NLW. He has yet to been pinned. He has yet to have submitted here in the company, and he continues it with a win over Mr. Anderson last night at Destruction. Tonight he comes out here with a different purpose, to challenge any member of the locker room to a matchup at Over the Limit. He wants to see and challenge someone to see if he can defeat his streak.
Ladies and gentlemen, I might as well be the poster boy for ruthless aggression. As a matter of fact, tonight, I'm in the mood to show someone here, right here tonight, what ruthless aggression is all about. In fact, I am issuing a challenge to anyone in that locker room. Gotta be somebody back there that wants to seize the moment. That I've never wrestled before. To come down here and face Kurt Angle.
Well, he's made the challenge official, but who will answer it? Who is going to come out here right now and face Kurt Angle at the Over the Limit pay-per-view? It appears to be challenge accepted. And here he comes, Mr. Money in the Bank, AJ Styles. Somebody who has a point to prove. Last night on the Destruction pre-show on Metal, he defeated Kane. And he is on a roll here tonight, and apparently he would like to continue his momentum. Listen to the crowd erupt when he came out here with his briefcase. Although the way he's acted in recent weeks has been a little bit questionable, he is still one of the most popular superstars in No Limits Wrestling history. And look at this stare down. Mr. Money in the Bank looks into the eyes of the Olympic gold medalist. This is an incredible stare down. These two men have never faced off in NLW before, and it appears that not only has challenge been accepted, it's been accepted by none other than the Phenomenal One. And over the limit, it's official, Kurt Angle versus AJ Styles. Styles looking to make an impression on the Olympic gold medalist like many have in the past, and the over the limit tournament continues. Sting is already through, apparently. Sting is already through to the final due to a bye between Jericho and Benoit. Kane is through to the semi-finals, but who will face Kane? Undertaker or John Cena? Taker versus Cena is next part.